And here we are once again, live on the road. On the road for us means we're in Montreal because I'm Mike and I'm from Toronto.
And I'm Pat, and I'm from Edmonton.
And here we go. It's time for another Pathetic Roadshow bonus content podcast. Like and subscribe. I forgot to say that last time. It really helps us out. I expected to be doing this with a more cheerful disposition, but that didn't happen.
But it's more on brand for us.
Yes.
Because tonight's game versus Detroit, which ended in a 3-1 loss, was a pathetic failure on many levels. And while it's fresh in our mind, we're going to get into it. We were at Hurley's Irish Pub tonight for a special event with the Basu and Godin notebook. And
shout out to them. They're really nice people.
Really nice. They came by, they said hello, encouraged us in our little endeavor here. So appreciate that. And so we were all set for a really joyous celebration
and raucous celebration of us moving ahead in the rankings to create some space between us and the rest of the log jam behind the Montreal Canadiens, but not behind anymore.
Sadly, certain members of the Canadiens had other ideas, and certainly the Detroit Red Wings had other ideas. So now we're back at the palatial Airbnb, and we're very depressed because we lost. And whenever I get depressed, the only thing that's going to make me cheer up even this much is a nice Pepsi PMA West. So that's what we're having for our midnight snack tonight.
I might cry into this Pepsi and make it even more zero than it is.
Yeah. And just if that doesn't work, we got some Krusty Aldress over on the table there. So we'll be fine. We'll be good to go by tomorrow. But let's talk about this game tonight. Another must-win game.
Which we mustn't win.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
It was interesting. How do you say his first name? Mr. Basu.
Arpon, not apron.
Okay.
Arpon.
Sorry about that. I'm a little nervous here on the camera. He made a point that the Canadiens started like gangbusters in the game. They outplayed Detroit for the first part of the game, but I said to Pat in the bar, I said, yeah, but that's what they normally do, and then it all falls apart.
And they weren't rewarded for that early domination. Game was scoreless after one. It was very nearly scoreless after two, but the Habs managed to...
They won the second period.
And Mr. Slavkovsky came through with a nice goal, and we went into the third period with a lead, albeit a tenuous 1-goal lead. And then, for reasons unknown to any of us, they stopped playing playoff hockey.
They were playing not to lose. They were playing to sit on the lead.
Actually, they were playing to try and get a 2-0 lead, and they got too loose. They put, there was the shift where all three forwards were deep in the zone, and of course, it just took one little flip out of the zone, and then Detroit had numbers the other way, and they ended up tying the game.
Who was on for that shift? Do you remember? Because now I can't remember now.
I don't remember now, but it was bad. Oh, well, I think it was the captain in line, actually, because...
yes, because they got benched after that.
Not
benched exactly, but
used sparingly after that.
Yeah, I don't think, except for Demidov,
yeah,
I don't think they played the last 7 minutes of the game. That's what they said.
Yeah, if you're looking at the stats, you're going to see that their ice time was not great.
Kapanen was under 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's your second line center, and he's under 10 minutes. So that tells you what you need to know there. And then shortly after that, puck goes back into the zone. Mike Matheson is back there, and he swallows his own tongue or something and coughs up the puck. it's in the back of the net, and it's 2-1. And then they're tracing the game after that and trying to get some, and, even before that, just before that second goal was scored, the Habs had a pressure around the net. Evans got the puck right on the doorstep with half a wide open net to shoot at, and somehow he missed
Yeah,
from
well,
point blank range.
several people in the broadcast said that he had more time than he realized. But, this is Evans. And he's not a goal scorer. Like, how many goals does he have this season? He's not a goal scorer.
No, but
He's
when
a,
you're standing at the lip of
yeah,
the crease with an open net, you should be able to hit that.
but we've talked about this before, about how a goal scorer knows how much time they have, and a non-goal scorer
Yeah.
goes, "Oh my God, I have the puck. I have
Yeah.
to shoot it." And
But
it was
even
a
if you rush,
backhand. It was a backhand.
yes, but his backhand went like, if it was a golf shot, it was a slice, nowhere near the net.
I think he panicked. I mean,
Well, and it was shortly after that that the debacle happened in the backhand with Matheson, who probably was just playing too many minutes, and he, had a brain fart, and the puck bounced, and that's all she wrote. Of course, Habs pulled the goalie, and of course they got scored on in the empty net, because of course they did. That's what happens. So,
I mean, the thing is, I want to just add about Matheson, because I know there is a lot of fans who are Matheson haters, and I think we wouldn't be where we were, the team would not be where they are without Matheson. So you're right. He probably plays too many minutes, but they couldn't be without him. They wouldn't be in the position they are without him. Same with Hudson. You can say whatever you want about his defensive game, but the power play and so much of the offense is driven by him. This team would be nowhere without those two players. So for all the people who want to crap all over Matheson, he did make two big mistakes tonight, and he made a mistake on Tuesday night against Boston. But in this 3-1 loss, it was the team defense.
A total team effort.
And a total team defense problem again.
Well, a couple of things. They've got 6 defensemen dressed, and at least 2 of them probably don't deserve to be there, but they have to be there because you have to dress 6 defensemen.
Who's the second? Are you talking about Carrier?
Well,
again?
Carrier.
He played well tonight, except for one.
Bad, but generally speaking, Carrier, Jackeye, Struble are not good enough to be playing. And the problem is that you need defensemen that can eat up some minutes, so that the top guys are not worn out. Now, apparently, last night, Laval played a game. They clinched their playoff spot in the AHL, and Engstrom was back from an injury. He played last night alongside Reinbacher. So, if those 2 guys are healthy, I predict that they will both end up on the Habs by the end of they need to.
I thought we were debating, not we, but the debate was which one would come up, and I thought you were.
They may not come up at the same time, but I thought you
were advocating for Engstrom over Reinbacher.
No, I'm advocating for both of them to come up, because desperate times call for desperate measures.
Well, they have 4 more call-ups available to them before the end of the season. That's what I read.
Yeah. So those guys will need to be part of the solution in the playoffs, because they can't go with the guys they have now. The other thing is, at the end of this season, whatever happens in the playoffs, when the season is over, they got to fire Stefan Robida as the defensive coach. The numbers don't lie. And yes, not every defenseman on the team is stellar, but that system is garbage. And that's what causes half their problems.
Well, I remember we talked about this earlier in the season, and we were watching some analysis of the Montreal Canadiens, and they were talking about how they're the only team that has this defensive system that is a 1-to-1 coverage.
And it's complex, a lot of moving parts, and they just, some of them can handle it and some of them can't. And, but again, after the results that you've gotten with this defensive core, you can't keep him next year. Like, they got to
Not
make a
the way it
change
is,
there.
yeah.
They've got to make a change
I
there.
mean, Hudson, the fact that he has to play with a different defenseman
Yeah.
almost every game.
Yeah, he's only a sophomore. He was playing with Struble tonight on his wrong side because Struble has to play the left side, and he doesn't play as well on the right side. So that you're handicapping yourself because you're forced
And
to
you're
play these
handicapping
scrubs.
your
One of
best
your better players.
defenseman, your best offensive defenseman,
Yeah.
and also an excellent defensive defenseman.
Yeah.
So
So it's untenable. It is unsustainable. And, like, I mean, Stefan Robida, I remember him as a player, and I didn't like him then. And then I hear he's now a coach, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a guy who couldn't coach a pig how to wallow in the mud. Like, what does he think he's doing? And what do the Habs think they're doing,
squealing
hiring
like
this
pig.
clown who couldn't play defense when he was a player, and he's going to somehow it's those who can't do teach, I guess. But
Hey,
those who can't teach Jim. But yeah, they got to get someone. I don't know who they got to get, but they got to get somebody. And
well, they have Ryan Becker.
no,
and they have
I mean coaching.
Oh,
next
coaching.
year. They got to get
coaching,
somebody.
coaching. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
for
Sorry.
now, for the playoffs. I know they don't want to screw over Laval because Laval's going for a high playoff berth, and they could go on a good run, probably a better run than the Habs will have. But the needs of the big club must be served.
Yes.
And we need those guys, as as imperfect and as unfinished as they may be. Although I think Engstrom is NHL ready. He's only just not been up because of the waiver eligibility thing, but he needs to be up soon. And then I never expect to see him in the AHL again after he gets his next call up. Reinbacher, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him but I hear good things. We'll be going tomorrow night to the Laval game to see him play, and we'll see. But
Unless he's called up and he doesn't play
called
tomorrow.
up, well, if he's called up, we'll see him on Saturday for the Islanders game.
True.
Either way, we're going to see them. But yeah, if they're at all close to ready, they need to both be up here, because you cannot go into the playoffs with this Carrier, Jackeye, Struble, three-headed monster.
Now, you would think that this would force Marty's hand to do something, because now I know we have a game in hand still on Boston, right?
Yeah.
But now we're tied, and they have more wins than us.
Yes.
So that's bad. So Are you going to wait until we're behind? I mean,
well, are we going to wait until we're in 9th place instead of 8th place?
Yeah, no, exactly. And
because we're not far from 9th. I mean, Columbus was winning tonight, so that's
I'm sure they won. Actually, they were winning 5-3.
Yeah. As Gold member said, it's toit like a toiger in the standings.
Yes.
So, they got to get on their bike and start stringing some wins together. They've been, aside from Tuesday night, they've been very mid lately, and this is not a time of year to start slowing down and blowing winnable games.
If you think about it, they've had now 5 games in a row where they've been, I know everybody, again, we talked about this the last bonus content, that everybody, all the podcasters and even commentators were going on, whether it's Lapierre or Marinaro, playoff style game on Tuesday. Neither of us agreed with that. Yes, it was a good result, but the fact that they played to go to overtime when they could have won the game is just a symptom of the problems that this team has. And we didn't feel like it was a full effort from beginning to end. And if you count that one, plus the games against the Ducks,
the Sharks,
this one, it doesn't look good this last couple of weeks. It really doesn't.
No, it's not inspiring us with any confidence going into the playoffs.
No, they keep going on about how well they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs. I mean, this is a team that's been comfortably in the playoffs the entire season, which is shocking. But at this point, you know, they were saying tonight.
If they blow it at the end, it's all for naught.
Well, exactly. So it's like, oh, in October, would you have been happy for them to be in a playoff position in March? Yeah, but yes, I would. But now I've spent a whole season with them comfortably in a playoff spot, and now they're slowly but surely falling out. And 14 more games, they can fall out very easily.
I mean, last year,
with the way they're playing now, they will fall
at the
out.
end of the year when they clinched on the last day or the second last day. And if you ask that question, oh, would you have been if they told you in October? Yeah, but this year, by Christmas time, that question was like, I expect them now.
Yeah.
It's not.
Things change. We're allowed to change our expectations based on the performance we see.
Well, and for me, you know, as an old school Habs fan, I always say, I don't have hopes and dreams. I have only expectations which must be met or exceeded, and the standard does not change. A Stanley Cup is a good year. Anything less than that is a pathetic failure, and people need to get fired. First. People need to get fired. People need to lose their jobs because that's the standard. I didn't make the standard. That's what it is. And I don't give a damn that people say, well, you know, it's not a 16 league anymore and it's more competitive. I don't care. The standard is the standard. You either meet the standard or you pack your bags. That's it. So
you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, you won't hear it last because I'm going to keep saying it. They've been in a playoff position all year. If they don't make the playoffs, it's a pathetic failure. Well, simple as that. Now, I don't expect them to do anything in the playoffs. I think they will be annihilated in the first round by whoever they play because they're not built for the playoffs. But qualifying for the playoffs, that is something they should be able to do given what's gone on this year. And if they blow it in the last 14, 15 games, that's a pathetic failure, and changes will need to be made.
Well, we already talked about the fact that 30% of their games have gone to overtime. So yes, they've won 12 of the 20, but it's still like it's
too high a percentage.
That's too high a percentage.
And that's every year they seem to have a lot of
they did last year.
Points. You know, like.
So last year they had 21 come from behind victories. This year they have 22 so far. But the fact that they have to come from behind is the issue here because they're either getting a lead and falling behind or falling behind at the very beginning. And either way, I said it from October, it's not sustainable. This is not the way you win in the playoffs. And yes, that's important because these run and gun games, they're fun to watch. I've enjoyed them while they're doing rebuild, but we're past rebuild now.
Yeah, and we're entering an era of consequences.
Consequences and expectations.
Yes. And vice versa. This kind of stuff won't cut. It's fine in the odd game when you pull it out of your hat at the end. But what this team needs to be doing on a consistent basis is getting on top of other teams and learning how to close. Coffee is for closers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And Stanley Cup.
First prize, Cadillac. Yeah. Second prize, steak knives. Third prize, you're fired.
And that's the thing. Closers, you know, win cups. It's as simple as that. And unless or until this team learns to have that killer instinct when they got their skate on the other guy's neck, they need to choke him out. And they let too many teams up off the mat, and it costs them. So that's the assignment for the next 14 games is to lock it down.
So before we close out this bonus round, I just want to talk about Dobish and do you think Fowler will start the next game? Because it wasn't Dobish's fault tonight.
No, it was not. But he has started 2 in a row, and knowing the way they like to do things, they will probably give Fowler the start, and that's fine. I mean, again, this is not a goaltender. Now that the goalie who shall not be mentioned is gone and out of the picture, we don't have to obsess over who starts. Either can start. I'm happy and confident in both Fowler and Dobish, and the games they are losing with those two, when they lose, it's not. You can't point to them as the root cause of the disaster. Not. It's always in front of them that's the problem. When it was the other guy, often he was the cause, but we've eliminated that now. So we get competent goaltending now.
I will say that when we get to when we go back to our topics in our weekly episode, I would like to talk about Dovish and his rebounds, because the rebounds are like very bouncy.
Yeah,
I don't want to get into it now because it's too much.
We know technically he's not as technically sound as Fowler. He probably never will be, but all he does is win, except tonight.
Yeah,
but
that wasn't his fault.
But the thing is,
2 goals, that's all he let in, and they were not
since they have embarked on this Fowler-Dovish tandem. Goaltending has ceased to be an issue,
and yet they're still losing. And this is what my
now
concern
when you're
is.
losing, you can look at what's really going on and saying, okay, there's this, because it was too easy when you'd get weak goals. It's too easy to lay it on the goalie, even though the goalie needs to make the saves. So I'm not saying that goalie deserved not to be scratched, but it didn't solve all their problems just putting Dovish or Fowler. They still have guys playing in front of those guys who need to lock things down. And unless or until they do that, that playoff spot is going to be tenuous.
Yeah.
So
and it is. So, just
a reminder, I
want
to eat my May West.
Yeah.
So
just a reminder, tomorrow we'll be at the Rocket game. We'll share our observations.
Falcons, I think, is the St. Louis farm team.
Yeah, we'll be sharing our observations about Reinbacher and
Engstrom
and whoever else we happen to see.
Capo Kakkonen.
And the other Jack guy. Remember,
Joshua Raw will probably still not be good enough for prime time.
Maybe we'll do
maybe
we'll do a special Rockets bonus.
We might do
episode.
a Rocket bonus episode.
But if not, after our Saturday game against the Islanders, we will be doing the last bonus content of this road trip. My brother will be staying in Montreal for a few more days to see the Carolina game.
Yep.
But I will be going back home
I'm a glutton for punishment.
Exactly. But we'll definitely have more content out for you. Like and subscribe. It very much helps us.
Do it.
Do it now.
Michel Carrier said, learn it, do it.
Yes.
Grind that buck.
It's all about the attitude.
Like, and subscribe.
All right. We're out.
Hey, we're out of here.